Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out today's broadcast. My name is Jonathan, and today is day 423 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. If this is your first time checking out one of my broadcasts, a little bit about me. I'm 39 years old. I'm married. We have 4 children together, and I've been overweight my whole life. As long as I can remember, or as long as I've been an adult, I've been over 300 pounds. Almost completely that whole time. A couple occasions I've lost some weight and dipped below, but never maintained or stayed under that weight. So last year or in 2020, I had gotten to a point where I was over 500 pounds and I knew I needed to do something. So I created this challenge with two main goals in mind. The first goal is that I have a lot of weight to lose and I didn't put the weight on quickly. And so I knew that it was going to take a long time to get the weight off. Also, in the past, I've lost weight and never been able to maintain that weight loss. And so this time I knew I needed to challenge myself to focus on my weight loss for a longer period of time than I had before. And so that's why I challenged myself to do this for 3 years. The other, so that way in that 3 years, I'd be able to lose the weight and then find a way to maintain that weight loss. And then the other big thing is I have a lot of weight to lose. And in the past, I would set goals that I always felt were realistic, lose 100 pounds or get down to 300 or under 400. And I'd feel great when I hit those goals and it would be awesome. But, you start to celebrate or, maybe sometimes you'd be trying to lose 50 pounds for a vacation or something that was coming up and that event happens. And so then you kind of let the old habits start to come back and, gain the weight. And so this time I wanted to get, when I was done and to be able to say I was at my goal, that I would be at a really healthy weight. And so, or a much healthier weight than I started. That's why I challenged myself to lose 300 pounds. So far, it's been going great. As you can see on the screen, I'm 334.4 currently, or as of my last Wednesday weigh-in. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear them. I'd love to hear how you guys did, or how your guys' holiday was as well, and just how everything's going overall. We had a great Christmas. Our kids had a wonderful Christmas. They got lots of toys and wonderful things. Everything that they could have wanted, I imagine, right? Or everything that was on their list, I believe they mostly got, uh, probably with a few exceptions. But for me, my big goal over this Christmas was to not gain weight. Over Thanksgiving, I gained some weight, and just overall the last few months, I'm up. So my goal was to stick to my diet over the Christmas holiday weekend and to come back, and have not gained weight. And I'm happy to report that that is kind of the case. Or that is the case. On the scale right now, I'm weighing pretty much exactly what I weighed last Wednesday, if not just a hair under. But it was uh, it wasn't without a little bit of effort. I had to pay attention to what I was eating. I had to skip some big parts of holiday meals. I can kind of run through what I did or what I can remember from the holiday weekend. I don't remember what I had that Thursday, but we had a Christmas Eve dinner that we had. We were with family in a gathering, and so I for that meal, really all I had was the mashed potatoes and corn. Carrie had made some that she didn't put any, or that there wasn't any butter in, and then before we put any salt in it, I had some of that, and then the corn. But that's really all I had for Christmas Eve. It was fine, I knew going in that I wasn't going to be eating a lot there, and had eaten some food at home. One thing that I did have a lot this weekend, and I don't know which days I had it, but I did have my avocado with the miso and the mango pico de gallo, I believe, 3 different times, kind of as main meals or as meals, just because I knew that I was going to be kind of skipping meals or not eating very much at some of these kind of occasions. But the day of Christmas was a little bit odd for us because we didn't celebrate Christmas Day with our extended family. So it was just really just our kind of me, Carrie, and the four kids. So we really just kind of ate normal. I can't even remember what we had that day. I believe it was the day after Christmas. I had uh, just rice with our mustard dressing for a meal. And then yesterday evening we had miso. I had oatmeal for breakfast every morning, like I usually do, but that was really kind of the major meals that I had. I didn't eat a lot over the holiday. I actually am kind of a little bit disappointed that I didn't lose weight, but in hindsight, when I look back, the amount of times that I ended up snacking, like those are the main meals I had, but uh, that avocado toast, I mean, it's a whole avocado each time I make that. I make four slices of Ezekiel bread toasted, and then with miso on each slice, and then pretty much a quarter of an avocado per slice. So it's a lot of avocado, and it's amazing. And it tastes wonderful. And if you haven't tried it, you should. Um, the pico de gallo we get from Aldi's. It's a mango pico de gallo. Um, but I snacked a lot on cashews and then dehydrated mango. I had purchased some dehydrated mango. I believe it was maybe right after stream on Thursday. I went to Costco, but so I had a couple bags, and then I was gifted a couple bags of dehydrated mango from my mom because it's kind of been a joke for a while there. Uh, I would have her if she said she was going to Costco, I'd have her pick us up a couple bags of it because we didn't have a Costco membership for a while, or we just weren't going up there and shopping as regularly. But we've been going there a lot more now because they have some of the things that we regularly eat, like the mango, the cashews, and then the almond butter. Probably all the stuff that's bad parts of our diet, but that's what we get from Costco. Um, so food was pretty boring, but I feel wonderful. I felt great all weekend actually. I never felt dragged down or bogged down or over full. Carrie did make the brownies that we have that are kind of our diet compliant brownies. They're black bean based, and I'm sure they use maple syrup for some of the sweetening. But um, we had those brownies and we actually took them to Christmas. It was funny. I wish I had the tags here to show, and I might have a photo I could have looked up. But when I went to eat with my daughter at a restaurant a couple weeks ago, we ordered some meals that were vegan, and the restaurant had given us these little tags that were um, that uh, they had these little tags that said vegan on them, and I saved them from that restaurant because I thought they were pretty cool. Then when we had Christmas dinner on the 26th with my extended family, the dishes that we brought that were vegan, we actually put those little tags in so that people knew. And it was great. Carrie had brought a cheese dip, or it was like a round cheese wedge that I don't know if wedge is the right word, but that you would take a knife and you would put it on. I think they had Triscuits or a cracker, and we had the vegan sticker in it. And honestly, I don't think anybody had brought any other type of cheese like that. There might have been some like salami with some sliced cheese, but uh, that was very popular and it was completely gone by the time we left. Everybody really enjoyed it, and it was nice that we had that little vegan flag in there, kind of so that everybody that tried it and said they liked it knew that it was a vegan option that was still good or still tasted good. So um the then uh but yeah, so that was nice to have those flags to put in the food at Christmas. And trying to think what else we had, but it was just it was I was a little disappointed. And one of the things I got to say is I'm very happy that I decided to take my scale home with me, because I thought I was doing great, and I did do good over the weekend. But um, I thought I was going to come in today and I was going to be way under, like back, a couple pounds under. And I took the scale home with me Thursday because in the back of my head, I'd been talking about it a lot on the stream that, weighing in daily has really helped me. And I was going to go from Thursday to Tuesday without weighing in. So I threw the scale in my vehicle and took it home with me. And then yesterday was actually the first day that I got the scale out and I weighed. And I was actually up a little bit. And so I was really kind of frustrated yesterday because I was up. But uh, I know that a couple things that, one, had I eaten the foods that I kept myself from eating, because we had Carrie purchased a tofurkey loaf, I guess is what it is, from Trader Joe's, and we had two of those. And we had made one for the Christmas Eve and then the day after Christmas. And I and people tried that as well, and there was some people that uh, um, enjoyed that as well. But those who I skipped, I kept from having those because those aren't on our salt, oil, sugar free diet, and um, and so I didn't eat those things, and I didn't have any, like we had vegan chocolates and vegan candies that would have been great to try, and I was still up. So I'm happy that I took the scale, that I was able to put myself in check. Carrie's checking and saying, "Hey, Carrie, I hope everything's going great at home today." It's snowing here, so the kids are probably all out trying to play in the snow, I bet. Um, the uh, yeah, just having the um, I don't know, got totally sidetracked talking about how the weather has been here, and talking about Christmas. We had the two loaves. I skipped having the loaves, and I was disappointed that I was up, but the I kept myself in check. If I wouldn't have taken the scale, if I wouldn't have weighed in yesterday, I wouldn't have known to kind of ease up last night. I might have had more food last night, or eaten more mangoes last night, or finished off the box of cashews. And then this morning, I actually fasted. I did this last week where I fasted Tuesday, Wednesday morning. I feel great now. I'm happy how I feel. I don't feel like I've um, been been extra tired or anything. I've been doing this a few times here, skipping that oatmeal in the morning and just kind of doing a 20-hour fast. And I think it's been working great. Carrie said you did great. Yeah, it was tough this weekend. I did have Carrie trying to push some things on me, because especially like that cheese I was talking about. She had mentioned a couple times I should try it, and I was like, I'm just gonna do my thing. And if I'd have eaten it, I'd have gained weight. So I'm happy that I was able to abstain from it. Um, and I just want to get through the holiday here, lose weight. I really want to get back under that 200 pounds loss. That's my biggest, I need to get back into that. And really, it's going to show up, I think, tomorrow on the scale. I think I'll have a loss. I may even fast again tomorrow morning, just for good measure, because I've really been enjoying it. I know it's not for everybody to skip a meal, or to some people, skipping 2 meals, I guess. But I I like having the 2 meal a day kind of regular, kind of have breakfast, come home after work and have dinner. And then if I skip breakfast, I end up being a full day there, almost 20 hours fasted. Carrie says that she did try to push some cheese on me. Yes, it was vegan cheese, but yes. Salad for dinner tonight should be helpful. Yes, I'm looking forward to having a green salad. We had miso last night that had some spinach in it. It was like a frozen spinach. It was the first time we had tried the frozen spinach. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of it. It just gave it a different flavor. Not a worse flavor, just different. But when I look back at all of the things that I had this past weekend, I had a lot of grains. I had oatmeal for breakfast. I had the Ezekiel bread, there's oats. I had the rice with the mustard dressing. And then I don't know if I mentioned, but the mashed potatoes for Christmas Eve dinner. But just I didn't really eat a lot of green things this weekend. I had a couple carrots, I think, that were on the table um, at the day after Christmas party that we had, and really it was um, not a lot of like green leafy vegetables this weekend. Anthony's saying, hey, Anthony, I hope you had a good holiday weekend here. We had a great time. The kids had a really wonderful time. I'm sure of it. I'm going to end up spending a lot of time over the next couple weeks building some Lego sets. Each of the kids got two Lego sets that were pretty large, and then some smaller Lego sets. So we've kind of started with the smaller sets to get it figured out. It's kind of funny that we had purchased a lot of Legos 3, 4 years ago for our son, and he was into them for a bit, but they just kind of sat and collected dust. And then this past year, he's really gotten back into, or this past, I don't know, couple months, I guess, he's been more excited about it, and doing those projects with them has been a lot of fun. Speaking of projects with the kids, holidays were different this year. I don't know if it was because Christmas was on a Saturday, but also we kind of postponed our Christmas. We usually do our family Christmas on the day, and this year we did it the day after. Um, the, um, and we ended up having a period of time on Christmas Eve, which was Friday. I didn't end up working, that we were able to go out, and actually it was, why was I coming home? Oh, I picked up some stuff in a city near us and I came home. Anyways, the way I was coming home, it was a really nice day out on Christmas Eve on Friday, and I was driving by this park that is near us that's got a couple hiking loops that I was thinking, we got a few hours. It would be great to go out and hike. And so we ended up getting the kids together. We ended up having coats on everybody, which was an absolute mistake because less than 5 minutes into the hike, I had four coats in my hand. But we decided to go on a hike, or I came home and I was like, hey, we got some time to kill. We should go on a hike. And Carrie was like, yeah, let's get them together and go on a hike. And I'm going to try to see if I can find the workout from the other day. But let's see. Yep, here it is. So Carrie, I don't know if she sent me a screenshot or not. I had talked to her earlier about sending one. Um, but I didn't end up starting my Garmin tracker until we were kind of a mile into the hike, and so I don't have everything on mine. But let me see if it's not this. Let me see if I can pull this up here and I can show you the hike that we did on Christmas Eve. It was really awesome to go out and hike with all four of the kids. If you've been following along, I did go on a hike at the same spot with my younger kids a while back, maybe a month or so back. We went on a hike at this same park, and so I we grabbed the kids, and let me try opening this up. Hit the wrong one again. So this was just kind of a brief summary of the hike we did. It was probably closer to 2 hours because, like I said, there was, or not close, it was closer to an hour and a half because we did about 3 miles total. The starting point, if you look at the map here, is actually should be where the red mark is. So we walked from the red mark through some trails down to the southwest of this to kind of complete that circle. But it was really awesome to get out there. The kids did a pretty good job. The twins um, were a little bit um, rough as we got into the hike, but at the end of the day, I was extremely happy that we went out and did the hike with the kids and did that as a family. It was a great experience. There was a few other there was at least one other family with a couple children out there, and then there was some other, couples and people walking around. It was a little bit muddier than I expected, and so that was one of the downsides to it. But it was great. The big kids had no problem doing the full 3 mile distance. They would have gone as long as we wanted them to. I mean, it wasn't without complaint, but it was a lot easier than it was with the younger two. I'm just kind of going through here to see if there was anything special about the whole trip, and nothing um, overly out of the ordinary with it. Those couple spikes you do see there. I did do a little bit of running around or chasing with the kids, kind of to maybe keep them motivated to run or just to kind of keep things interesting. And I felt great. I've been, one of the things that motivated me to do this or want to go on the hike here was partly that I've been reading the book Born to Run, or I did finish the book Born to Run over the holiday here, and um, just the act of walking in an environment like that where it's rough terrain and what it would do kind of to strengthen your feet and your legs and the muscles. And I was sore. I mean, I didn't think I was that sore when we got done, but I was. Carrie says here it was nice. One of the twins could use a bit more experience with shorter hikes. Yeah, the in honestly the hike we did was about 3 miles, and we cut probably a half mile out of what we could have done, if not a mile of what we could have done. um the and Carrie says it was her first time wearing barefoot shoes, and she actually had some all-weather ones, which was really, yeah, beneficial because it was so muddy out there. um the other kind of consequence that was nice about us doing this that we hadn't really talked about was, um, we're Catholic and we had mass to go to that afternoon, and all four of our kids were not a problem at all at mass for the hour that they had to sit there. One of them actually fell asleep, so she missed most of mass. Um, but yeah, they were wore out, which was a great benefit from going on the hike. Uh, like I just kind of said, I did finish the book Born to Run by, I believe it's Christopher McDougall, if I had to venture a guess at the author's name without looking at the book. But I really enjoyed the book. Uh, there's a lot more to that story, maybe, that I'd like to hear, or maybe kind of the follow up. Maybe, you do get some opinions or some insight to it, of the story from some of the other people that were at the event. But essentially, the book kind of tells a story, or the end of the book tells a story talking about uh, this run that was put together by a guy that lived down in the Copper Canyons of northern Mexico, and he put some of the top U.S. runners. I think Scott Urich was a top runner at the time, or I think he is a top runner, and against some of these tribesmen from a tribe that's called the Tara Umari or the Raramuri, and it was really kind of a neat story, and it kind of some of the facts that they talk about really you know similar to what I got from listening to like the Pleasure Trap or some of these other doctors that talk about are how we evolved to what we are today. And one of the arguments that they make in this book is that for a long period of time, that if we did hunt game, or when we did hunt game, that we did it through persistence hunting. And they haven't there's not a lot of evidence of persistence hunting because we found ways to make it easier. But they kind of break it down as far as the time of things, and I'm not sure I'll be able to quote the timing of things exactly, but essentially, we evolved from something from millions of years, or over the course of millions of years. And the idea that so but so we've come from something for whatever, how many ever years this planet's been around, we evolved from something. But it's only been for uh like the last, gosh, I want to say that they said 20,000 years that we had, maybe it was 20,000 years that we had a bow and arrow, and it was 200,000 years that we had a spearhead. But then there's almost 2 million years of evolution where we didn't have any tools and we hunted somehow without tools. And that's what they talk about, like uh, that's how long it takes for evolution to happen, is for these things, and that we've made life easier, but we actually have the ability to do some amazing feats. And that was kind of what some of the, I guess, cool facts from the book is they talk about if you measure somebody's speed from the time they're 19, and then they get faster from the time they're 19 till they get to about the age of 27. And so let's say you run the mile in 7 minutes at age 19. If you train for those years, you could at age 27, let's say, run the mile at 6 minutes a mile. You get a mile, you're a minute faster on your mile. But then they looked at how long, if at 27, my hair just got. So if at 27 you're at your peak, how long does it take you to come back down and get to as slow as you were when you were 19? And they said from the studies that it takes 60 years until you lose that speed that you gained from the time you were 19 to 27. And so somebody who's 27, you know, even if you took half that time, they get to, maybe it was till they got to 64, maybe, but even at 55, they're saying that if somebody trains and they continue to train from 27 on, they'll run a mile at age 50 as fast as they did at age 19. And it was just kind of, it was interesting because we have such a mindset that there's going to, we have this declining health uh, that is supposedly so rapid, and it's really not that case. We have a very rapid growth from the time you're 0 to 19. It's very rapid, but then that 19 till you die, there's nothing happens rapidly um outside of like like that. But as far as growth or decline in health um and so it just kind of it's really a neat like it gives me because something that I noticed when I was training for the triathlon or the kind of that I was thinking about, is I'm so heavy right now. It's really hard to run. And when we did that hike, I did do some running, and I felt awesome. I felt great doing the running. And then we went to church and had to kneel and stand up and kneel and stand up, and I just about passed out. Because it was so not I didn't really, but it was more difficult than I expected it to be. Anyways, I I when I get to my goal, when I get to 220 pounds, I'm gonna run a mile faster than I've ever run a mile. Like I know the fastest I can remember having somebody on a stopwatch time me on a mile, it was 9 minutes and 2 seconds, and that was my freshman year of high school. I remember that was my mile time, and uh, at age 40, 41, 42, I am gonna blow that mile time away. Like I'm not anywhere near doing a mile that fast now. But I know that if I lose another 120 pounds, doing a mile under 9 minutes is not a difficult feat for somebody who's 41 years old and in good shape. And so it's uh it's crazy to think that I wasted so many years of good health with being obese. Like the the age of 18 until 38. But I'm happy to be on track to getting rid of it, and I'm excited. Like I listen to these books and they talk about these amazing feats these people doing, running 50 miles in these in mountains. I'm trying to do uh, a 3 mile hike with my family in the hills in a river valley, and there's people out there doing 100-mile runs through Death Valley and in the mountains and uh they those events obviously wear on them very heavily, but daily they're doing training runs that are quadruple what we just did as a hike. Um and my weight is such a big part of why I haven't ever been able to do it or thought to do it or even had the the urge to do it, because it was never a possibility. And when I think about it, it scares me. Like not scared. It's not the right word. Um, but I just don't know. Like I think it would be cool. It would be so cool to do a 100-mile run and be able to do it and say I did it. But I think all the training that has to be done to lead up to it, and then the event itself and the effort, uh, it's just like I I can't imagine me being able to do that. But it's not me who would do that. It is obviously me, but it's the me that would be under 200 pounds that would do that, you know? Uh, and I'm still, I'm slowly getting away from that being a 500-pound person or being, uh, and getting over the uh, mentality of I can't do that because I'm fat and I'm not going to be able to do that because of the difficulty of doing it. And uh and instead having that mentality of hey, I can go on a hike with the kids today and not have a problem and feel great. And I did. It was awesome. So, uh gosh, I'm trying to think if I had anything else. It was a great weekend. I'm sure I could go on about some other things, but um I hope you guys all had a great Christmas. I hope you were able to stick to your diets. Um I know that having this kind of accountability coming back and that was a big driver for me in being able to stick with it. I'm happy I took the scale home and I checked my weight yesterday. If I wouldn't have, I would probably have been more disappointed in where I was at today. And uh, you know, because even when you think you kind of have everything figured out, you're not. You know, once you step on the scale, it's just different. Carrie says she's just excited to go to an amusement park. Yes, that would be fun. To go to like a Six Flags and be able to go on all of the rides, or go out to Disney and be able to do all of the rides. I haven't been able to do that forever. In fact, uh what is I don't know. Sorry. So the last time I probably would have been able to get on any ride that we went on was when I was in sixth grade. We went to Six Flags, and uh, we went all over the park. Unfortunately for me, is that I broke a bone in my knee playing backyard football just prior to going to Six Flags. So I had a full leg cast from my hip all the way down to the end of my toe, to my toes. I had a full leg cast. So we ended up going to Six Flags because we already had the trip planned. And I was in a wheelchair that we borrowed from the place because I had used crutches to get around, but we knew that it was going to be a lot of walking. So I got a wheelchair and I got a pass to go and kind of cut the line and end up being in the front seat in a bunch of rides that I was able to go on. But there was a bunch of rides I was unable to even do. There was like a Batman ride I know I wish I would have been able to do, and a few other ones. Um, and then after that, I started getting bigger. I don't know that we went to an amusement park again until I was in high school or after high school. And at that point, I know that there was rides I wasn't able to fit in. So yeah, it'd be really fun to go to an amusement park and be able to go on all the rides and not be nervous about whether or not they're clicked in and holding me good enough. Didn't click good. Um, so yeah, I had a great holiday weekend and I'm so happy I stuck to my diet. It's at no point did I ever feel sick or bloated or over full this weekend. Um I didn't miss out on any events. I may have missed out on some flavors. I didn't get to have any of the cheese or the tofurkey, but I'm happy. And Carrie says we've never gone. Yeah, we've never gone to an amusement park together. I don't think we have. That's funny. No, I think that I went to an amusement park with my family just before we probably met. So yeah, we've never gone to an amusement park. We'll have to figure it out. I don't know. We would have to probably take some classes, like just working on patience. Take 4 kids to an amusement park. That would be that's that's rough. They'd probably have to take out a small loan to even get in. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for all the support and everything over this past year again. I hope you guys did great. And we got the holiday, we got the new year coming up. I'm sure that some of you guys are waiting. Start your diet till the new year. You're starting your diet on the first. And if you haven't planned on starting it till the first, or you haven't planned on starting a diet, you should plan on starting one now. And the first is a good day to do it. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Some of the stuff. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do get subscribed to the channel. Click on that bell icon so you'll get alerted when I go live, which is usually around 4 p.m. on weekdays here. Down below in the description, there is a link to a Discord. That's a great place for you guys to join up, share kind of information about yourselves, and let me know how you're doing on your diets. And also down in the description, there's a link to a Pinterest board. That is Carrie's board that has a lot of the salt, oil, sugar free recipes that we have been trying. We did try a new one that did did well. It was a loaf. That's right. We did have that loaf. That was one of the meals I forgot to mention. There was no green in it, like I was talking about having vegetables, but it was some sort of fall autumn loaf is what it was called. It was from the Plant Powered Families um, cookbook again. So, anyways, I am out of here, guys. If you haven't started your diet yet, get started right now. There's no reason to wait. There's no event that's so important that you shouldn't start your diet right now, or start doing something. Even if it's not fixing your food, start doing something. Put brackets on when you're going to eat. Get, get going now, because at the end of it, when you get to your goal and you look back, you're going to say the same thing that everybody else says, and you're going to say, I wish I would have started sooner. And so get started now, so that you're not, when you get done, you can say, I started when I needed. Everybody says they wish they would have started sooner. I wish I would have started sooner. I wish I would have known half of this stuff 20 years ago. I wouldn't be even fighting with this. But anyways, thanks guys. You have a great day. I'll be on tomorrow, 4 p.m. Oh, it's weigh-in Wednesday tomorrow. Oh my gosh, it's weigh-in Wednesday tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow for sure.